Very good evening to all of you. Welcome to Stock Durbar with Team William India. So guys, we'll start in next 30 seconds. I think still some participants are joining the room. So let's give some time to them. And then we can start with today's session. I hope my voice is clear and the Nifty chart is visible to you guys. Just a couple of comments. Thank you, Shyam and Mintu, for the confirmation. Yes, Bhushan. So I already got a long query from Prashant. So first for 10-15 minutes, we will try to discuss about the Nifty setup, some macros as well as some broader market and the sectoral specific setup. And then only you guys come up with your queries. Otherwise, there will be a junk in the chat box. So please don't start posting queries as of now. So Devan is saying we must have WhatsApp broadcast from MarketSmith. So sure, Devan, we will try to do it if possible. So today it's Stock Durbar by MarketSmith India team. Good evening, Santosh. Yes. Okay, Amit is saying it's audible. Perfect. Okay, let's start with today's session. So as you can see, Nifty's chart, there has been a very good rally over last 3-4 weeks. So after making a low of somewhere around 16,750 over here, there was a pullback after initial try to attempt to reclaim the 50 DMA. So to all the audience, the red line over here is the 50 DMA and the black one over here is the 200 DMA. Okay. So and the green one is the 21. So if you can see over here, so here Nifty found resistance as its 50 DMA और वहां से फिर से नीचे गया, but it found a very good support near the 200 DMA, and from there when it rebounded in the October, so continues rally. I think सिर्फ एक सेशन बीच में नेगेटिव था. अगर आप यहाँ से स्टार्ट करें तो almost in 15 days there was only one negative session, and then yesterday and today two back-to-back negative days, and this has happened for the first time, I think, back-to-back negative days after the start of the rally. But now what's important over here to understand is, see, firstly we have discussed it many times in the after hours if you guys are joining every day at 4:30, but if you are not, then we have discussed about this volume. So here the volume action was not very good when the initial phase of this recent up move was there. On the couple of occasions you have got a very good volume, but otherwise the volume was relatively lower. Just compare it with this selling volume. यहाँ पे जो पूरा selling आया था, ठीक है, 16,750 तक का, वहां पे वॉल्यूम देखो सुपर हाई था. अगर उससे कंपेयर करोगे तो ये काफी लो था. यहाँ पे क्या हुआ था, जब ये वाला रैली आया था तब बीच में इट गेव अ वेरी अप मूव ऑन अ वेरी गुड वॉल्यूम, बहुत ही अच्छे वॉल्यूम पे ऊपर गया था. एंड हियर वी हैड गॉट अ फॉलो थ्रू डे. FTD हमको मिला था and we were in a confirmed uptrend. The market was shifted to CU, that is the confirmed uptrend, and we had started adding the stocks somewhere here. But in this rally, that has not happened. So we got a potential bottom over here. यहाँ पे हमने थर्ड डे पे मार्केट को रैली अटेम्प्ट में शिफ्ट कर दिया, and from there it's almost more than 20 sessions and we have not got a follow through day. Not a good sign for the market, because not only in India, so at William O'Neill Plus Company, around the globe, all the considering 25 developed indexes, 25 इमर्जिंग मार्केट के इंडेक्स को अगर हम कंपेयर करें तो कोई भी बड़ा रैली फॉलो थ्रू डे के बगैर नहीं आया है. इस बार भी फॉलो थ्रू डे हैज नॉट कम एंड लॉट ऑफ डेज हैव पास्ड सिंस द बॉटम, so it becomes a bit tricky. Now this was something which was on the negative front. We might saw over here the volume thing, the no follow through day coming. ठीक है. अभी दूसरा पॉजिटिवली अगर देखा जाए तो 50 डीएमए और 21 डीएमए कंफर्टेबली रिक्लेम करके ऊपर सस्टेन किया है मार्केट. 21 भी यहाँ पे 50 के ऊपर निकल गया है. एंड व्हाट्स इम्पोर्टेंट इज, जो प्रीवियस ये रैली था ना अपना, जो सबसे ये साल का अगर देखो, सो दिस इज द 12 मंथ पीरियड ऑलमोस्ट, नवंबर से आप देखें तो ये साल का सबसे बड़ा रैली आया था ये अपना जून अगस्त वाला, ठीक है, दिस वाज द लॉन्गेस्ट वन एंड द हाईएस्ट वन। सो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ था कि 18,100 पे हाई बना था ये रैली का। अभी इस बार निफ्टी ने वो 18,100 के हाई के ऊपर चला गया, निफ्टी हैज क्रॉस्ड दैट हाई। सो that's what internally we as a team, or head of research Mahesh Joshi, my colleagues Raj Wakar, we guys discussed about these a lot. And in these kind of situation, what you need to do is, you are not changing the market direction to confirm uptrend, but as 18,100 के ऊपर एक बार निफ्टी का क्लोजिंग आ गया, your buy switch is on। जो आपका बाइंग का क्राइटेरिया है, द बाय स्विच ऑन करने की बात है कि हाँ अभी हम लोग देखो डाउन ट्रेंड में according to owning methodology we don't add stocks, but in these scenario when the rarely it comes, 18-19 में एक बार ऐसा हुआ था कि मार्केट ने प्रीवियस रैली हाई ले लिया बट फॉलो थ्रू डे नहीं आया आफ्टर गोइंग टू डाउन ट्रेंड। सो नाउ फ्रॉम टुमारो, और ये इवेंट भी खत्म हो गया, ये जो एक फेड का बड़ा इवेंट था, इफ यू डिस्कस अबाउट दैट देयर वर सम हॉकिश कमेंट फ्रॉम द फेड। सो एक्सपेक्टेशन ऐसा था इस बार कि हाँ 75 बिप्स से कोई इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम नहीं था मार्केट को, बट कमेंट्स कुछ ऐसा आएगा जो चीजों को सॉफ्ट करेगी कि हाँ अभी थोड़ा पाथ इजी रहेगा फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स के लिए, रेट हाइक साइकिल के लिए, बट दैट इज नॉट द केस। फेड चेयरमैन ने थोड़ा क्लियर कर दिया कि वी विल कंटिन्यू टू हाइक द रेट्स, पेस आगे पीछे हो सकता है बट दे विल गो डेटा ड्रिवन एंड द पिवट इज फार। तो ओवरऑल अगर आप देखो तो थोड़ा हॉकिश कमेंट था, एंड ड्यू टू दैट देयर वाज अ शार्प फॉल इन द यूएस मार्केट। सो यस्टरडे द की यूएस इंडाइसेस ब्रीच इट्स 21 एंड 50 डीएमए। सो हमारा जो यूएस मार्केट है वी हैव पुट इट अंडर प्रेशर, वो कंफर्म अप ट्रेंड में था, वहां पे फॉलो थ्रू डे आया था, बट अभी हमने उसको कंफर्म अप ट्रेंड से अप ट्रेंड अंडर प्रेशर में डाल दिया यूएस मार्केट को यस्टरडे आफ्टर द नेगेटिव एक्शन। सो दिस हैज बीन द सिनेरियो। यूएसए में तो ये बहुत हुआ है, आई थिंक इस साल 4 फॉलो थ्रू डे फेल हुए हैं। अपने यहाँ ऐसा नहीं हुआ है, जनरली क्या हुआ है इंडिया में कि रैली आई है बट अगर एक्सटेंडेड रैली नहीं होती है ना तो फॉलो थ्रू डे नहीं आता है। यहाँ पे जैसे फॉलो थ्रू डे हमको मिल गया था, यहाँ पे अभी नहीं मिला है। सो लेट्स सी इफ वी गेट समवेयर ओवर हियर then it's fine, otherwise there are chances कि अभी यहाँ से अगर निफ्टी ने recent lows breach किए, recent low I mean ये यहाँ पे अगर ये जो पूरा consolidation जैसा 3-4 दिन से हो रहा है 18,000 के नीचे convincingly close आया, and if you see that on a higher volume एक distribution वाला scene बनता है अगर यहाँ पे, then there might be some selling pressure from this point of time and at least 2150 DMA को Nifty can test again, because जब भी 2-3-4 weeks से डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं आता है, more than 25 session 20 session distribution day, sorry the follow through day, if you are not getting, then that is negative for the market and there are chances of the rally going to fail. So Vishwanath is commenting that did we miss a rally waiting for the confirm uptrend? So see Vishwanath, it happens sometime. So like see, this is a rule based method that we follow, but if over here we were able to get it in these rallies also we were able to get in, but we were out early, so that's why we were able to protect our capital. But if you see, the volatility is very high, the markets are choppy not only in India but globally. So what we focus on is whenever the time comes, right, when the thing starts go high, we're not afraid to buy it at a high. So we tend to buy high and sell higher. So that is not a problem for us. But as Nifty was not getting a follow through day, so that's why, and यहाँ पे तो क्या था, वॉल्यूम भी नहीं आ रहा था, so वो कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप नहीं हो रहा था कि हाँ अभी पे, और यहाँ पे जो क्लोजिंग था वो भी लोअर हाफ में आ रहा था 2-3 दिन के लिए। सो देयर वाज सम इश्यू इन द टेक्निकल चार्ट, अभी थोड़ा स्टेबल हुआ है, और जो ये प्रीवियस रैली हाई रिक्लेम हुआ था on couple of days back on Tuesday, so then we will add stocks, not a problem। अगर यहाँ पे फिर से हमको 18,100 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग मिलता है then we will consider adding the stocks, but yes the status might remain in a rally attempt जब तक ये 52 week high which is somewhere around 18,350 नहीं ले लेता। Over there we will, you know, have a discussion again that should we put it in a confirm uptrend or not. But broadly speaking, our first focus is कि हाँ यहाँ पे अगर 18,100 के ऊपर close होता है, then we will start adding the stocks to portfolio. Okay, so there are some comments, voice not clear and screen not visible. So is it okay? Rucha, can you confirm the things are fine?
It's clear.
Okay, thanks for
It's visible and we can hear you.
Yes, same here.
Yeah, so Prashant, there's a comment that yes, you will lose the more than gains higher. So thanks. Yeah, you had a good experience with MSI. So that's what in market you need a patient approach and a rule-based approach. So that's why the follow-through day is the best thing. And yes, our conviction will be high only after follow-through day. But as I told, this had happened in 18, 19. Sometime it happens that the follow-through is not coming and previous rally high is taken. Then we'll be very cautious in adding few stocks which are of high quality, early stage से breakout होते हैं, RS line नए high पे है. We might consider those stocks, but still like 2-3 days have passed since that high. We have not entered that, but ये जो पूरा अभी next week है ना, उसमें भी बहुत सारे events है. So US का midterm elections है, 10th को CPI inflation आएगा US का, and as the Fed chairman again commented, data driven है. So if you again see that 8% वो range पे अगर inflation आता है, then again there will be expectations building for that 50-75 bips rate hike to continue. So let's see how the things go. But currently, if you see, this is the scenario in the Nifty. So if you look at few index, Nifty bank, so the results of some of the banks have been very good. And yes, Bank Nifty tried to test the all-time high, but it failed to move above that level. So around 840 के around all-time high है 41,000, but वो 41,650 के around से थोड़ा नीचे आ गया. And see, these are the candles which are not good. अभी आप थोड़ा टेक्निकल 1-2 मिनट में आपको समझा दूं तो जब भी मान लो मार्केट ऊपर गया एक दिन, ठीक है, फिर उसी दिन उसका क्लोजिंग एकदम नीचे आता है ना, then these kind of candles are really not good for the market. And what we observe in Nifty, 4 कैंडल ऐसे आए, देखो ये फर्स्ट वन ऊपर गया क्लोजिंग डे लो पे, यहाँ पे सेकंड वाला, ये थर्ड वाला, ये पूरा एक ऐसा लगा था कि यहाँ पे जो ये कंसोलिडेशन हो रहा है ना 2-3 दिन से, ये पूरा उसके हाई को यहाँ पे रिक्लेम कर लिया था. सो दैट वाज समथिंग पॉजिटिव एज फार एज द टेक्निकल्स आर कंसर्न. बट दैट डे आल्सो द क्लोजिंग वाज नियर द डेज लो. टुडे इनफैक्ट आज का कैंडल यहाँ पे अभी अपलोडेड नहीं है, बट यस टुडे अराउंड 0.4% का गेन था बैंक निफ्टी में. So yes, it was the green closing in Bank Nifty. Otherwise, the results are good, especially the PSU banks. जो PSU बैंक में अभी तक प्रॉब्लम था कि उनको कैपिटलाइजेशन देना पड़ता था, एसेट क्वालिटी हर बार उनका डिटोरिएट होता जा रहा था. अभी ऐसा सिनेरियो नहीं है. देयर एसेट क्वालिटीज आर गेटिंग इम्प्रूव्ड, देयर कासास आर इम्प्रूविंग, their deposit growth, their advance growth is very good. And even the top private bank, if you see the result of the HDFC Bank, the ICICI Bank, so these guys have given a decent set of number, in fact very good set of numbers, multi-quarter high उनका जो ग्रोथ वगैरह रहा एडवांसेस का. प्लस एक चीज और क्या हो गया पता है, बैंकिंग में जो बोरोइंग कॉस्ट है ना उनका थोड़ा कम हो गया है. एंड अभी ड्यू टू रेट हाइक साइकिल इन इंडिया आल्सो दे आर लेंडिंग एट अ हायर रेट. सो जो उनका ओवरऑल मार्जिन और प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी है वो इम्प्रूव हो गई है. नाउ वन इम्पोर्टेंट रिजल्ट इन बैंक्स टू लुक फॉर इज द SBI. सो SBI इज रिपोर्टिंग ऑन सैटरडे. So if SBI also reports above expectation, then you might see that there might be some good momentum in Bank Nifty. But yes, that will be a very crucial point as far as the SBI bank's result is concerned, because it's one of the leading banks among the PSU, among all the banks. So if there is some positive commentary from the SBI, the result beats estimate, then we might see that there can be a momentum over here. But otherwise, need to be careful with this structure. And here also there were some high volume sellings, if you can see over here. यहाँ पे भी high volume selling था, but good part in bank was that कि यहाँ पे 2-3 दिन अच्छे volume पे buying था. But So overall it's a mixed chart, you can say. There is no, कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हाँ क्लियर इंडिकेशंस मिल जाते हैं चार्ट में, जैसे कि जब ये रैली हो रहा था ना, जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड द थिंग्स, सी लो वॉल्यूम पे गिरता है, हाई वॉल्यूम पे बढ़ता है, लो वॉल्यूम पे यहाँ पे गिरा, इफ यू कैन फॉलो माय एनोटेशन प्लीज, यहाँ पे हाई वॉल्यूम पे पड़ा. सो sometimes the chart becomes very clear, sometimes it becomes a bit choppy and tricky, and yes, the current market is something like that. अगर 1 year का horizon से आप देखो निफ्टी का भी चार्ट, so you know it's almost moving sideways from 18,600. हर 2-3 महीने 18,000 के ऊपर निकलता है, वहां से गिर जाता है, फिर अराउंड 15,000 की रेंज में वो फिर से होल्ड करता है, वहां से रिबाउंड होता है. सो दैट्स द स्टोरी फॉर लास्ट 1 year after making the high from here. So now I think let's not to move more into these sectors. So we can start with your questions, and in between, whenever we feel that yes, here the sectorial indices are important to discuss, we will do them. But let's start with your questions. Please do not put the question multiple times, because that will create a lot of junk in the chat box. We will try to answer as many questions as possible on a random basis. So Wakar, my colleague, has joined. So we too will try to answer as many questions as possible. So yeah, let's start with some defense name. The most important thing for India as a country. Yes. So if you see the defense stock, so BEL is making a higher stage basis. So this is one problem. क्योंकि यहाँ पे अच्छा था, third stage basis पे था. We had this in our portfolio and we get a very good profit over here. We made a good profit. बट अभी क्या है, ये 4th स्टेज बेस बना रहा है, थोड़ा रिस्की हो जाता है. जब भी 3+ बेस बनते हैं ना, तो देयर आर मोर देन 80% चांसेस कि ये फेल हो जाता है. एंड फेल होने के बाद ये जो अभी रिसेंट बॉटम बना है ना, अराउंड लेट्स से अराउंड 96 है इसका, तो वहां पे वो ब्रीच करने के लिए जाता है. सो दिस हैज बीन अ ट्रेंड दैट वी हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड आफ्टर द 3rd स्टेज बेस. सो 4th becomes risky, 5th is very risky. Sometimes it happens कि कोई growth stock है तो बहुत ज्यादा basis बना देता है. And there are some rare examples like Jubilant Food, Bajaj Finance, वो multi-bagger वाला जो stocks होता है कि वो base पे base बना जा रहा है, 7-8 bases, but it is going higher. But see, this is all about probability. And then it you know, sometimes the probability is that 1% chance is there, 5% chance is there कि वो ऊपर जाएगा, but there is a high probability कि ऐसे base से नीचे आता है. बाकी ratings wise it's very good if someone is holding the stock. 96 का EPS, 80 का RS, buyer demand, group rank, everything is good. So if you are holding the stock, then most important thing to watch out for is the levels near 50 DMA. So generally it has got a very good support अराउंड 50 DMA. थोड़ा ऑसिलेट होता है, तो 50 DMA के प्लस और माइनस 1-2% थोड़ा देखना पड़ता है, क्योंकि एग्जैक्ट ये 50 DMA पे नहीं लेता है सपोर्ट या रेजिस्टेंस. बट यस, वेरी, यहाँ पे भी देखो 50 DMA के थोड़ा 1-2% ऊपर नीचे हुआ था, यहाँ पे भी हुआ था, यहाँ पे भी अभी हुआ, बट ओवरऑल इट्स होल्डिंग. सो कीप दिस लेवल इन माइंड. अगर 50 DMA को ब्रीच करता है वॉल्यूम पे, देन यू शुड हैव अ स्टॉप लॉस इन माइंड. Fix the stop loss in these kind of markets. If you look couple of other defense stocks, see, recently there was in Gandhinagar in Gujarat, there was a huge defense expo, and even our honorable prime minister was there, and a lot of orders they got from the international market. So there was a time when India was a importer of every small thing as far as the defense sector is concerned, but now we are exporting, we are manufacturing our needs by ourselves, we are exporting a lot of quality defense equipments, and that has been the progress that we have made in the defense sector, and that's what reflecting in the defense stock. If you look at the BD and also the Bharat Dynamics also, it broke out from stage 2 cup base and currently it's trading close to its profit booking zone. So ये ऊपर का जो zone आपको दिख रहा है, ये profit booking zone है, क्योंकि breakout के बाद 20-25% के बाद generally थोड़ा selling pressure आता है stock पे. अभी यहाँ पे अगर आपको fresh entry लेना है, then there is an alternative way to take a entry, क्योंकि base से तो ऊपर है, ठीक है, या तो यहाँ पे एक दूसरा बेस बना दे ये, तो समथिंग लाइक यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ फॉर्मेशन हो जाए, या फिर ये जो रेड लाइन है 50 डीएमए, 50 डीएमए पे आके जब ये रिबाउंड होगा ना, बट रिबाउंड होता है तब एक चीज देखने का है, वो है वॉल्यूम. व्हेनेवर द स्टॉक रिबाउंड्स फ्रॉम द 50 डीएमए, always look at the high volume. If the rebound is on high volume and the stock is quality, like see, it has a very good RS strength, good buyer demand, and even if you look at the number of fund holdings and the recent results, they have been very good, ROE of 70. So these are the stock which you can go for alternate entry. And yes, Mazagon doc, if you see, this has been a big winner of the year. We had added this stock at the breakout over here. We booked some 20-25% profit. I don't exactly remember the number, but yes, it was in that range, maybe 15 to 25% range. And क्या हुआ था कि मार्केट डाउन ट्रेंड में गया था वहां पे, लाइक निफ्टी वेंट बिलो 17,000 मार्क. ठीक है, तो at that point of time we had booked the profit, and when the market was in downtrend, this stock became the big winner. So there was no selling pressure over here, और ये continuously ऊपर जा रहा था, and it made a huge progress, 126% from pivot in 46 days. So अभी इसमें हाथ लगाना बहुत टफ है, क्योंकि ये एक्सटेंडेड है, हर चीज से एक्सटेंडेड है. अगर आप यहाँ पे क्लिक करो, वो अपने 200 डीएमए से 125% एक्सटेंडेड है, 50 डीएमए से 50% एक्सटेंडेड है. अगर थोड़ा भी प्रॉफिट बुकिंग आया ना, तो ये एटलीस्ट अगर 21 डीएमए को भी टेस्ट करने आया तो भी 20% का लग जाएगा. सो दिस एक्सटेंशन ऑफ द स्टॉक बिकम्स वेरी ट्रिकी टू प्ले, स्पेशली रिजल्ट्स भी है 7 days में. सो इट्स आइडियल to be on the sideline. If you are holding the stock, the best thing is to trail the stop loss according to your risk capability. But according to O'Neill methodology, the fresh entry in this stock is not suggested.
Vakare,
Yeah, Vakari, can take.
can you give me the chart for VBL? Thank you. Yes, again, one of those stocks that has been highly extended. I mean, been showing one-way rally last 6 to 8 months. If you see, satisfying all the canceling parameters, probably. I mean, great EPS strength, great RS line, great buyer demand, and even the institutional support have been increasing. And if you look at the management commentary after this quarter of result, I mean, the projections in terms of what they would likely to achieve in the coming time is huge, in terms of they expecting 15 to 25% growth across segments, similar levels of margin. Even the new product, that is Sting, is expected to probably contribute to nearly 15% of the top line in the coming time. And your international business, the domestic business, all is doing good. Domestic business currently has a volume CAGR of around 22%, and similarly they have capex plans of around 13 billions, including both greenfield and brownfield project, which is expected to be commissioned by FY23. So all in all, looks good. But as you can see, and what Rishit pointed out as well in the previous chart, I mean, at this moment, probably enter into a stock which is 75% extended from the pivot is not a good sign. Probably sometime earlier, like if you look 3 to 4 candles back, where it was probably giving you an alternate entry when it was reclaiming its 50 DMA. But again, you coming back to the O'Neill rules, and market was not in confirmed uptrend, and at the buy switch was not even on at that point of time. So I mean, yes, market will give you opportunities. It's not that you need to probably enter at any point in time, and it's good to probably sometimes wait on the sidelines rather than entering at any point and burning out your cash. The other Deepak Nitrite, sorry, not Deepak Nitrite, Deepak Fertilizers first. Then we'll talk about Nitrite as well. Yeah. So if you look at this stock, I mean, if it's been one of the multi-bagger story post the COVID, if you guys look at it, I mean, from I mean the 2020 phase to this level, if you look at it, the stock was hovering around 110, and then it's been a 9 to 10 bagger in the last couple of years, and was in the ASM list, then came out of the ASM list, and probably now if you look at from the O'Neill lens, it's satisfying most of the canceling parameters, your EPS strength, your RS line, your buyer demand, your fund holding. But what's been a problem now is that if you look at it from a stage 3, a double bottom breakout, I mean, the stock wasn't able to probably break out very successfully. But what's good, I mean, what good I can see up till now is that if one has an entry into the stock, does not need to worry that much till now. I mean, if probably it reclaims its 50 DMA from here on above average volumes, that would be really good. Because if you look at the fall, the successive fall that it had in the last 4 to 5 days, I mean, the fall was on very low volumes, except like one big red candle. Apart from that, the fall was on very low volumes. So probably these are the kind of support levels. I mean, it is below the 50 DMA at the moment. But if in the coming times, again, yes, the result is in 7 days as well. So new entry is not advised probably. And if someone has an entry into the stock, then probably that 7 to 8% stop loss, the general stop loss rule that we have, that can be kept. I mean, that's the only thing at the moment, because I mean, some kind of action can be expected in the stock post the result happens, but results come up with uncertainties, right? I mean, if it's a very bad result, probably the stock can go down very much. But if this the company can deliver good numbers that has been doing for the last 4 to 5 quarters, probably it can rebound as well. Deepak Nitrite also, there was a query for Deepak Nitrite. Yes. So looking at the stock, probably the only problem is like fundamentally still the stock is really good. I mean, one of the leading players in the chemical space, but the problem has been the price strength for the stock. I mean, the price strength is really poor. I mean, it has recovered from its recent lows, like of 1681. It's been around 2300 levels. But as you look at it, I mean, when the markets are choppy and it's like uh, choppy and sideways, the good point is to look at stocks with superior fundamentals, not just superior fundamentals, high your stocks with high RS ratings and volume support as well. So with this, the probably the RS rating is not increasing as it should have increased, where the market is near it's 52-week high, like 2 to 3% off highs at the moment, and the stock is around 15% off highs. And two, the stock is not forming a base as well, and even the EPS is due in 6 days. So probably any new entry or fresh entry into the stock is not provided. Probably someone who would have bought probably at the reclaim of 50 DMA or 200 DMA, probably holding before that. If the stop losses are not hit, they probably can keep the 21 DMA or the 50 DMA as you, depending upon your risk tolerance, as your stop loss, and probably move ahead if you're holding into the stock. If you're not holding, then it's a clear cut avoid at the moment.
Thanks, Bharat. So there was one query on Raymond. It reported its result today, and it was a very good set of numbers. I think the PAT, the revenue, the growth was excellent. and yes, it gave a very good breakout, but it's a stage 4 base. Again, the high stages bases not ideally good. So for a fresh entry, especially if we are holding, yes, trailing stop loss, the 21 DMA, the 50 DMA levels always help, especially over here. If you see the 50 DMA levels are walking, so you may keep 50 DMA as a stop loss. But the fresh entry over here is not suggested. See, two things. Firstly, it gave a very strong breakout over here on this day from the stage 4 base. But you can see even after a high volume strong breakout, ठीक है, अच्छा फॉर्मेशन था ये कप का, उसके बावजूद यहाँ पे सेलिंग आ गया है, ठीक है. There was a sharp selling over here, and it again trying to rebound from the 50 DMA, and today after an excellent result, it was up around 9 to 10%. So if you are holding the stock, then keep a trailing stop loss or maybe the 50 DMA, the best thing to do. But fresh entry over here is not suggested. Two reasons. Firstly, it's a high stage base, so you can try to avoid that. Secondly, it's already extended from its pivot 8% above the pivot. So it's always better to wait for a fresh base formation below this 50 DMA, sorry, the previous base level. So that's what becomes important in these stocks. But yes, the one thing is that the result was very good. So Sandeep has a query that how to get the stage count. Could you please explain over any stock like EL or Raymond? So let me quickly explain you. So see over here, this was the stage 2. Okay. For the Raymond, if you click over here, you get the idea that yeah, this was the stage 2. Let me give some annotation quickly. This is stage 2. Now after the stage 2, this is the breakout point. अगर breakout के बाद, if the stock is up more than 20%, okay, 20% plus, if a stock gains, and then it again forms a base, like over here it forms the base, then this base increase numerically, that is stage 3. But if there is a case there, okay, यहाँ पे breakout हुआ stage 3 से, and the gain is less than 20%, ठीक है, 20% से कम gain हुआ है, और ये अगर नया स्टेज बनाना स्टार्ट हो गया है, then we go it alphabetically. Like इसको फिर हम दे देंगे 3A. Here we will tell it this one we will give number as 3B. And if you clear the drawing and see over here, so this is the stage 4 base, right? So why this is stage 4? Because after the breakout from this 3B base, yeah, the stock had advanced more than 20%. Like it hit a power to pivot 33% जितना gain हुआ था यहाँ से breakout होके. उसके बाद फिर से stage बनाया, then we give this as a stage 4. ठीक है. अभी मान लो यहाँ पे एक और base बना लेता है छोटा सा, तो इसका नाम होगा 4B, because ये अभी 20% से ज़्यादा ऊपर गया नहीं है. So the next will be a base on base, and that will go up alphabetically, not numerically. So simple is 20% से ज्यादा अगर गेन है तो न्यूमेरिकली ऊपर जाएगा, 20% से कम अगर गेन है ब्रेकआउट के बाद तो वो अल्फाबेटिकली ऊपर जाएगा. अभी मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, रीसेट कब होगा? तो मान लो कि इस बेस का लो है 796. सो लेट मी क्लियर दिस. ये 796 का लो है प्रीवियस बेस का. तो जब भी ये रेमंड 796 को ब्रीच कर देगा ना, ये लेवल को, उस टाइम उसका बेस रीसेट हो जाएगा काउंट. और फिर जब ये नया बेस यहाँ पे मे बी जस्ट इन केस अगर बनता है, देन दिस विल बी स्टेज 1. ठीक है. एंड उसके बाद वो 2A 2B 1A 1B जो भी बनता है वो उसके बाद का है. बट अगर ये प्रीवियस बेस का लो है उसको अंडरकट करता है, इफ द प्रीवियस बेस लो इज अंडरकट, दैट इज व्हेन वी रीसेट द बेस. I hope that's clear to most of you. Now there's a query on Coal India. So see, this breaks out from the stage 2C base. So this was 2B, this was stage 2A. Over here it was stage 1B. ठीक है. फिर यहाँ पे गेन ज्यादा हुआ तो इसको हमने 2 दे दिया, ये 2B है, और ये 20% से थोड़ा कम है इसलिए ये 2C दे दिया इसको. अभी ये 2C से ब्रेकआउट हुआ, बट इसका रिजल्ट है I think Monday ko. So that's why we are waiting for result. The stock is part of our watch list. So this is in our watch list, and yeah, this is a good story. So overall the fundamentals have improved. जो अभी auction हो रहा है उसकी वजह से उनका जो margins profitability improve हो रही है, plus the demand, the electricity demand in India is increasing. So we are shifting to green energy, but initially the coal wala jo thermal production hai, that is very high in India, and you need a lot of supply to industries, to the power sectors. So overall इनका जो revenue बढ़ा है, और अभी जो ये auctions पे पूरा आने लगा है धीरे धीरे, the auction is increasing, and you can see the prices of auctions are sometimes very high, and so they are getting a very good realization. इनका जो profitably है margins है वो improve होता जा रहा है. So it's a very good story. It's a part of our watch list. Most important thing over here is कि Monday को उसका result है. So ideally we don't take position just before the results, because it becomes very tricky. Result से पहले जैसे वकार ने बोला अभी कि कुछ भी हो सकता है रिजल्ट में. We don't know what is the estimate, मिस क्या हुआ, बीट क्या हुआ, बीट होके भी गिरा दिया, मिस होके भी बढ़ा दिया. What commentary comes in, so you don't want to go into all those things. So एक बार रिजल्ट आ जाता है, properly analyze करो क्या हुआ है, क्या margins बढ़ा है, what is management commenting about the future of the business, what is management commenting about how the quarter went. So these all expectations when you analyze this whole, so that becomes very important. Okay, so next one is Polyplex. We can take, I'm just taking randomly. So this was a very good stock as far, but the fundamental still remains good. But after making some high over here, it has been continuously getting beaten down. So firstly, see over here, it broke out in February, and yes, we had this stock in May 3rd. We added this stock and we booked the profit. We holded this for almost 7 months. January 2022 तक हमने hold किया था इस stock को, and yes, we booked very huge profits. More than 50% profit हमने इस पे book किया था. उसके बाद ये एक quick rally आया था, but it was not able to sustain. ये rally sustain नहीं हुआ और ये continuously गिरता जा रहा है. And see, whatever analysis you do, whatever advice you are taking, but if you see that the technicals are very weak, then you should be very careful about the position. You should act according to your financial advisors. Yes, this is the fact to remember, that whenever the stock reaches its 50 DMA on a higher volume, ये देखो higher volume पे 50 DMA breach कर दिया. अगर आप होल्ड करते थे तो यहाँ पे तो 200 DMA भी हाई वॉल्यूम पे ब्रीच कर दिया. So according to O'Neill methodology, you should be out somewhere over here at first place. Then again there was a chance यहाँ पे भी हाई वॉल्यूम पे ब्रीच था. ठीक है, तो there were a lot of points where you should be out of the stock. Fresh entry not suggested over here. Let it form some base, क्योंकि अभी इसका रेटिंग देखो, बायर डिमांड D- है अभी. Not a good thing according to O'Neill to go for. RS रेटिंग जब बाजार ऊपर जा रहा है, स्टॉक नीचे जा रहा है, 12 का RS रेटिंग है. एक चीज है, इसका फंडामेंटल अभी डिटोरिएट नहीं हुआ है. 96 का EPS है, फंड होल्डिंग्स भी इंप्रूव हुआ है, बट देयर हैज बीन अ शार्प सेलिंग. अभी सेलिंग ऐसा नॉर्मल वाला नहीं है, वॉल्यूम पे सेलिंग आ रहा है पूरा. देखो अगर ऐसा सेलिंग होता है ना, देन दिस इज समथिंग वेरी गुड. जैसे कि यहाँ पे था, लो वॉल्यूम पे सेलिंग था. ठीक है, यहाँ पे भी थोड़ा लो वॉल्यूम पे सेलिंग था. बट जब when you start seeing that a stock is getting beaten down, सेलिंग आ रहा है बट हाई वॉल्यूम पे, जैसे कि यहाँ पे देखो ये वाला पूरा. ठीक है, यहाँ पे भी हाई वॉल्यूम पे सेलिंग आ रहा है. तो दिस इज समथिंग नॉट गुड. अभी जब ये ऊपर जाने का ट्राई मार रहा है 3 दिन से, तो वॉल्यूम नहीं आ रहा है. तो दिस इज समथिंग यू नीड टू ऑब्जर्व. तो just to according to O'Neill, not a good time to add this stock. And if you are holding the stock, then you might be in a very huge loss and need to be very careful about that. So that's why you should, according to O'Neill, there is some 7 to 8% stop loss criteria that you should follow from your buy price. Because क्या होता है, एक बार प्रॉपर पॉइंट पे अगर आप बाय करते हो, तो उसके बाद अगर 7-8% गिर जाता है, then it takes time to rebound. But if it rebounds, you can anyways take the fresh entry. See, because as a retail investor, you have a very limited capital. अभी अपना तो कोई SIP तो नहीं आता है म्यूचुअल फंड की तरह हर महीने पैसा कि तुम लगाते जाओ, एवरेज डाउन करो, कुछ भी करो, ठीक है. So as a retail investor, you should be very careful because you have a limited capital and you want to gain something out of that. So if I'm not saying that these stocks are bad, ये कभी rebound नहीं होगा, अभी गया, ये सब probability कम होता है, अच्छा stock है fundamentally, but when the technically it is getting beaten down, your money is blocked, right? Your money is blocked in the stock, you are accumulating losses. दो लॉस है, एक तो पैसा ब्लॉक हो गया, दूसरी जगह अपॉर्चुनिटी में नहीं लगा सकते, और दूसरा कि आपका इसमें लॉस हो रहा है. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू नीड टू बी केयरफुल. स्टॉप लॉस पे बहुत ध्यान देना चाहिए. 7-8% स्टॉप लॉस इज व्हाट यू शुड बी वेरी केयरफुल अबाउट. डोंट लेट योर कैपिटल erode. There is one question on MFL, Meghmani Finchem. See, as far as this stock is concerned, यहाँ पे ये breakout दिया था stage 2 cup base से, and this was the first sell signal over here. ये TDA में breach कर दिया था, and volume was also high at that point of time. Okay, so this was the first sell signal. Then again it had some rebound. Then again यहाँ पे 50 DMA को breach कर दिया. So this is the first sell signal you have got. अभी यहाँ पे वो एक previous basis around 1100 के around 1200 के around इसका है support, and even the 200 DMA is somewhere just about 1200. So depending on your ad price, so if it is down 7 to 8%, that's always your stop loss level according to only 50 DMA breach हो गया तो first sell signal मिल गया है. But if you are very confident on the story and that's what you have discussed with your investment advisor, if you want to hold it, the 200 DMA is the very important level. If it breaches from here in a high volume, then there can be a long downtrend possible. ठीक है, बट अगर यहाँ ये जोन से अगर रिबाउंड होता है, then there are chances कि ये 50 DMA के ऊपर जा सकता है. So that's what technical says. But yes, otherwise you need to be very careful in the stock which are below 50 DMA.
Rushit, can I take some queries?
Sure.
Rushit, can you give me the chart for TVS Motors? See this query again. So I mean, when autos as a pack started moving, and I mean there was good expectations for hopefully the festive season coming up, and even even the October numbers weren't that bad in terms of volume numbers for TVS as well, and even the one couple of things, EPS is due. I mean the result is due in one day. I mean the result is due tomorrow, and two, and the most important part is that even with all the ratings being really good in terms of your price strength, your buyer demand, EPS is fair, but I mean the last few quarter results have been really good for the company. I mean the stock is 52% extended from the pivot, and at the moment there is no. Rushit, am I audible? Is it fine? The voice is fine?
Some disturbance is coming, but overall it's okay. But yes, some bit of disturbance there.
Okay. So I mean it's 52% extended from the stock. I mean from the pivot, and at this moment there is no alternative entry as well. But someone who would have bought at the pivot or at the ideal buy point can at this moment trail the stop losses maybe to the green line, that is the 21 DMA, or to the red line, the 50 DMA, depending upon your risk appetite. And one thing is I can probably say is have a one who is having the stock, who is probably not having the stock as well, have a very close study on the results or the numbers that comes up tomorrow, and even in terms of the management commentary as well, and then try to correlate it with the technical action that comes in, because technical action comes at the forefront, happens at the anticipation. So if there is technical deterioration happening, then even how good may be anything else in terms of the numbers or the management commentary, it's better to probably exit the stock if even your trailing stop losses get hit. The other we discuss is lemon tree. Again, so I mean, we've been as a team also we've been discussing this, and in the earlier webinars also we discussed how hotels as a pack have been moving in the uptrend in terms of your Lemon Tree, Indian Hotels, other guys as well. And if you look at it at this moment, the stock is like 32% from the pivot, which is highly extended. If you look at it, it's probably the ideal first profit booking zone in terms of the O'Neill criteria. And one who is probably holding into the stock can at this moment trail your stop losses again to the 21 and the 50 DMA. And if you look at it, apart from Rushit, can you take me down to the volume bars? Yeah. So the last, if you look at this fall, the continuous fall, if you look at it from 93.45 to below the 21 DMA, the fall was on very low volume. So that is not a very scary sign for the company. And probably the reclaim of the previous highs has been on above average volume. So that is a really good sign for the company. What I mean, again, what we've been emphasizing is like one has a position, can trail the stop loss to 2150 DMA, or probably have a partial booking, profit booking as well. Why? Because even O'Neill says is that once probably a stock moves like 20, 25, 30% from the pivot, it probably consolidates, makes probably a new base and then moves ahead. So can book have a profit partial profit booking, or if your risk appetite is higher, can trail the stop losses as well. Probably new entry into the stock is certainly not advised. The other we'll look at is KPIT. So rightly, what probably Rushit pointed out is the stage 4. I mean, sometime during presentation as well, what Rushit was explaining in terms of the stage count. So stage 4 and higher are the high stages in terms of your high stages in terms of the stage count that we talk about from the O'Neill perspective, and these are the stage count that are most probably prone to failure. Very few stocks have been able to probably move ahead from the stage 4 basis or higher. And similarly, if you have, it's clear cut avoid when you talk about the stage 4 base, but KPIT being a good company and probably the chart that it is showing at the moment, one can have a look in terms of understanding at this point in time, how is the price volume action happening? Do stage 4 count, what is the probability that they fail out? I mean, one can really look at it and try to analyze these stage 4 counts or higher in terms of the probability of failure. Again, 10 स्टॉक देख रहे हैं तो उसमें से कितने स्टॉक फेल हो रहे हैं. इफ एक या दो स्टॉक अगर बढ़ रहे हैं and like 7-8 stocks are failing out, that you can see and probably understand the value of the study ke okay, these stage counts are risky. But if we talk about from just the company perspective and the fundamental perspective, I mean, overall, the company delivered decent results in terms of their constant currency revenue growth was more or less in line with the consensus estimates of around 4.8%. Even management raised the FY23 constant currency growth outlook to 31-32%, considering organic, inorganic growth. Organic outlook has been raised to 23 against the 18 to 21% earlier. And currency headwinds, cross currency headwinds for the company is there in terms of US dollar strengthening, and your other currencies across the globe have been weakening against the US dollars. That's not a good sign. if you have revenue across the globe, then and was the main problem has been for the company uh, is in terms of the IT companies are facing in terms of employee cost headwinds, and that is what is pressurizing their EBITDA margins. And even with your growth outlook being improved, the EBITDA margin guidance is still around the 18.5%, 19% level. So that is a little bit of issue for the company. Overall deal wins and everything else is fine in terms of TCA wins, but a good stock to probably have in your study, have in your radar, and if the stage count gets reset, then and at that moment, if the parameters work out, and in terms of even the markets are in a confirmed uptrend, then a really good stock to watch out for.
Yeah, thanks, Wakash. There is one question from Mulafar that is it wise for retail investor to add a low liquidity red flag stocks? So the clear answer is no. So according to O'Neill, the liquidity of stock is very important. Sirf liquidity nahi, not only the liquidity. What we are focused is also on the number of funds. If you see that there are no funds holding the stock, if there is a it's a low liquidity stock, fund holding nahi hai, तो ऐसे स्टॉक में बिल्कुल नहीं जाना चाहिए. Even if there is somewhat of liquidity, and we see that there are no funds interested in stocks, so there is no investment from the fund houses, we try to avoid this stock. So these are our criteria. So if you look at some of our checklist, let's see for this one KPIT, अगर आप checklist देखोगे तो यहाँ पे हमारा checklist में ही है कि उसका एवरेज रूपी वॉल्यूम 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा है या नहीं. अगर है तो ही हम लोग ट्रैक करेंगे, otherwise that will not come in our tracking list also. So liquidity, number of fund holding the stock, ये सब important criteria हो जाते हैं. So there are some questions on pharma stocks. So even if you look at the Nifty Pharma index, so it was trading in a downtrend. So since maybe last 1 year अभी यहाँ पे देखो पूरा डाउन ट्रेंड में था. ठीक है, अभी रिसेंटली ये पूरे ट्रेंड का ब्रेकआउट आया है. अगर यहाँ पे देखिए तो 200 DMA यहाँ पे 3-4 दिन के लिए उसके ऊपर रहा था. ठीक है, अदरवाइज फ्रॉम हियर since last 6 months it has been below its 200 DMA. It recently reclaimed its 200 DMA. थोड़ा वहाँ पे चॉपी था, and now it has convincingly moved above its 200 DMA. So now the action is quite good. And even if you see this time, अगर Sun Pharma का result was really very good. Even their US का जो growth था वो 14-15% वहाँ पे growth था. Even if you look at the other results, so there were queries on Dr. Reddy. ठीक है, तो डॉक्टर रेड्डी का भी डिसेंट सेट ऑफ नंबर था. अगर ईपीएस ग्रोथ देखो मोर देन 140-50% का ईपीएस ग्रोथ था. So currently yes, it is trading in its ideal buy zone. So it's a stage 1 cup with handle base. The formation is decent. I think अगर आप वॉल्यूम देखे तो ये जो हैंडल वाला पोर्शन है वहां पे थोड़ा लो वॉल्यूम है. अभी फिर से थोड़ा वॉल्यूम एक्शन बढ़ गया है. Couple of things that I don't like about this one is the RS strength. You need some time. अगर RS strength यहाँ पे थोड़ा और improve हो जाता है, and if the stock remains in this buy zone, ठीक है, first important सबसे important चीज है buy zone में रहना. Extended stock is not something that you should go for, but if the stock remains in a buy zone and if you see that there is some improvement in the ratings, then yes, this stock is good to watch out for and discuss with your financial advisors before you take any position. If you look at the fundamentals of Dr. Reddy, it has been constantly improving. Last 3 quarter का growth काफी अच्छा है इसका. Even the number of funds, so this is what I was telling about. See, the number of funds are up almost 3% on a very high base, and the number of shares held by fund are up 20%. So that means the big money is interested in the stock. That this is the clear indication, and that also reflects over here. So this is a buyer demand rating. So buyer demand is also of A minus. So that's something very good to look for. So overall, it's a good setup. It's in the ideal buy zone, but yes, you need some a bit of relative strength over here. Otherwise, let's see weekly also. अगर हाँ weekly पे देखो तो यहाँ भी प्रॉपर है पूरा उसका जो डाउन ट्रेंड है, ये फार्मा इंडेक्स की तरह ही है. देखो फार्मा इंडेक्स में हमने अभी देखा पूरा डाउन ट्रेंड में चल रहा था, अभी वो खत्म हो रहा है इसका. सो सिमिलर थिंग इज विद द डॉक्टर रेड्डीज लैब. So result was also decent and the stock is currently in the buy zone. So it can be considered according to your risk, your knowledge and the advice from your advisor. So there has been few questions on the scanner. So guys, yes, we have a lot of scanners. So let me take you quickly just one indication. See, if you go to idea list, तो यहाँ पे सारे स्कैनर आपको मिल जाएंगे कि कौन सा बाय जोन में है, कौन सा बाय जोन से थोड़ा नीचे है, ठीक है, कौन से स्टेज का बेस है. अगर इफ यू क्रिएट बिल्ड योर ओन स्क्रीन तो यहाँ पे आप सब कुछ कर सकते हो, ठीक है. इफ यू लुक एट द फंडामेंटल फिल्टर्स लग जाएंगे सारे, ठीक है. टेक्निकल पैटर्न रिकॉग्नाइजेशन फिल्टर्स भी आप लगा सकते हो कि चलो कौन सा स्टेज है, ठीक है, स्टेज 1 2 1 और 2, स्टेज 3 और 4 उसके ऊपर का है, सॉरी. फिर कौन सा स्टेज है, फ्लैट है, कंसोलिडेशन है, कौन सा बेस आपको देखना है, वो भी यहाँ पे सब आपको मिल जाएगा. एंड परसेंटेजेस. So everything can be done in this filter section. So I'm not going in detail into that. That is available in the product demo video. But yes, you can go to this filter list and all the things can be shortlisted over there. So quickly, last couple of queries. So I discussed few of them. I think let's discuss Cochin. So if you look at Cochin shipyard, that's also in a very good uptrend. Mazagon dock भी अगर आप देखो तो ये सब extended हो गए. यहाँ पे उनका ideal buy zone था. अगर daily पे देखो, ठीक है, उनका ideal buy zone तभी आया था जब market down trend में था. Otherwise, these were in our watch list. Cochin भी हमारे watch list में था. In fact, I told you as a disclaimer that Mazagon dock तो हमारे portfolio में ही था with a good gains, but market downtrend में गया. So generally you find very less stock अभी जिसमें ये एक्सेप्शन निकल गया कि मार्केट डाउन ट्रेंड में और ये भागते रहे, वरना जनरली ऐसा होता नहीं है. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज डिस्कसिंग, दैट वी गो विद द हायर चांस ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी. प्रोबेबिलिटी किसमें ज्यादा है, कैपिटल प्रिजर्वेशन का और गेन्स करने का, तो वो था कि आप कैश में आ जाओ. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी डिड दैट. बट समटाइम इट हैपेंस, इट्स मार्केट दैट यस आप जो स्टॉक निकल गए वो भागता जा रहा है. बट अभी के लिए ये एक्सटेंडेड है. सो according to O'Neill, you should not jump into this stock at this point of time. या तो 50 DMA के पुल बैक के राह देखना पड़ेगा जो कि ऑलरेडी 30% ऊपर है, या फिर यहाँ पे एक नया बेस फॉर्मेशन वो बनाता है, उसके बाद जब ब्रेकआउट होता है, सो दैट्स वेयर यू शुड गो. सी एक्सटेंडेड स्टॉक व्हाट आई मीन इज कि देखो आइडियल जोन क्या है कि यहाँ पे ब्रेकआउट होता है, तो 0 to 5 क्या है कि आइडियल बाय जोन है. फिर अभी क्या होता है कि अगर आप जो आइडियल जोन से ज्यादा ऊपर अगर आप बाय करने जाते हो ना, तो वो स्टॉक ऑलरेडी एक्सटेंडेड है. मान लो 8-10% गेन आ गया, तो आप स्टॉप लॉस मैनेजमेंट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट. ये जो 7 to 8% स्टॉप लॉस का रूल है ओनियल का, दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन द आइडियल बाय जोन. कि अगर आप यहाँ पे लेते हो तो यहाँ से आप 7-8% देखो, अगर आप एक्सटेंडेड में घुस गए ना, तो फिर आप स्टॉप लॉस कहाँ पे रखोगे. मान लो कि आपने इस दिन खरीदा, तो योर स्टॉप लॉस बिकम्स वेरी डीप, राइट. अगर ये पीवट को ही आप स्टॉप लॉस ले लेते या फिर 21 को ले लेते, फिर वो डीप होता. तो जब भी कोई स्टॉक 5-10-15% एक्सटेंड हो जाता है, देन देर आर चांसेस कि वो फिर से कंसोलिडेट हो. थोड़ा प्रॉफिट बुकिंग भी आता है, क्योंकि एक तो राइट साइड ऑफ द बेस बना होता है यहाँ पे पूरा, ठीक है, ऊपर गया होता है, और उसके बाद वो वहां से ब्रेकआउट देके भागता है. तो देर आर चांसेस कि हाँ प्रॉफिट बुकिंग आ जाए और you might be shaken out or you might deep into the loss. So that's why it's always ideal to buy in a good zone. या मारुति का एक क्वेरी था कि मारुति इज इन अ गुड शेप, अभी रिजल्ट उसका अच्छा आया था. Just quickly I will take 2-3 charts and then we will close today's session. Yeah, it is trading in a ideal buy zone, थोड़ा ऊपर से सेलिंग आया. अदरवाइज रेटिंग्स डिसेंट है, थोड़ा RS लाइन का इश्यू है, अदरवाइज ऑल द रेटिंग्स आर क्वाइट गुड. The fundamentals has also improved recently. So if you look at one other question that is on LIC, See, LIC has reclaimed its 21 DMA. The results is in 8 days. So if it reclaims its 50 DMA और यहाँ पे अगर base बनता है, then that will be an ideal situation to have this one in your watch list. But currently, according to O'Neill, this is not a good idea to have in your watch list, because our methodology is not, going into bottom fishing. There are some methods, there are some guys who does it, that valuations पे या फिर bottom fishing का try करते हैं, but we don't do that. We want to buy high and sell high. So that's what we do. So that's why we are waiting as of now. So yeah, paper stocks, JK Paper and these stocks are doing really well. So there has been a good tailwinds for them. The plastic ban, and see, a lot of the entire ecosystem around the paper companies has been very good, especially some of the leaders like JK Paper did really well. Currently they are consolidating and forming the base. So यहाँ पे भी high stage base है. देखो ये stage 4 base था, ठीक है, तो उसमें अच्छा ब्रेकआउट होने के बाद भी इतना रिटर्न नहीं मिला. अभी स्टेज 4 भी बन रहा है. सो देयर इज आइडियल चांसेस कि हाँ, अभी आज 50 डीए में हाई वॉल्यूम पे ब्रीच हो गया है. तो टेक्निकल इंडिकेटर को फॉलो करना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. स्टोरी वाइज देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम इन द पेपर. वी हैव डिस्कस्ड इट फ्यू टाइम्स बैक एंड वी विल ट्राई टू डिस्कस नेक्स्ट टाइम, बट यस, वी आर quite running out of time. So thanks for joining the session. So I saw there has been some good comments for us. So yes, thank you very much for those comments. And I hope the session was useful to you. We missed a few queries, but you can always write to us. We will respond it on the email. So that's never a problem for us. But yes, as we have some limited time in this session, so sorry if some queries are missed, but I hope overall it was a useful session to you. So tomorrow you can join 8:45 a.m. So every day we do pre-bell and after hours. So every day at 8:45 a.m. For 5 to 10 minutes only, we discuss about the US market, about how the Indian markets are shaping up and all those things. And in the evening at 4:30, again for 5 to 10 minutes, we go for the aftermarket hour. So you guys can save the links and join us every day at 8:45 a.m. in the morning and in the evening also. So you will get a link. So Rajesh has a question. Rucha, can you share the link with Rajesh? So he is asking how to join. So yes, we will share the Zoom link, and we are also available on YouTube. So you can also go to YouTube on MarketSmith India's page, and there will be live telecast. So you can go to YouTube MarketSmith India, or Rucha will be sharing the links
Which
also
link,
as
Rucha?
well. About the pre-bell and after hours.
Okay.
Product demo, yes, you can get it on YouTube also, or you can on the website. There is some contact details, so you can contact the guys. Yeah, this session will be available on YouTube, Prashant. So no worries about that.
It's already on YouTube.
Oh yes, it's already there. So we were live on YouTube, Prashant. So yes, you can watch it again anytime. The links are over here. So first one is the pre-bell, that's 8:45 a.m. in the morning, and after hours will be 4:30 in the evening. Yes, on every Thursday we have this session, so no after hours, but then also we'll be there at 4:30. So yeah, we regularly publish the report. So I think today only, Rucha, have you posted the report today about the
ethanol one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's already on our site and it's on Twitter. Facebook,
yeah, so
LinkedIn,
today only
I'll be
we
posting it now.
published a report regarding the ethanol. So that's very interesting. So you will get it on our website as well as on the Twitter links of the Twitter account of MarketSmith India. You can, if you are following Mayuresh account also, then yes, you will get it there also in some time. And two more reports are coming in the next week. So that won't be a problem. So thank you guys for joining. So I'm signing out. So yeah, the link for the ethanol report, Rucha has posted over here. Thanks, Rucha, for that.